Hi and welcome back. I'm sure you would have completed the IntelliJ IDEA installation and configuration. Just in case if you have missed it, please go ahead and complete the previous hands-on and then we will continue because all the future hands-on exercises we will be using the IntelliJ IDEA IDE, which is useful for developing Java-based applications. So please ensure you stop the video here or rather pause, go back, complete the installation and then come to this particular video. With this, I hope you have completed that task and let's go ahead. So in this particular hands-on exercises, we will basically look at understanding the basic operators that are there in Java. So we'll write some basic simple programs. So the entire section we have here, we will be working with some simple programs and we don't take any project as such. Okay, so we will just create a simple project and then we will just work with some simple sample programs in this particular exercise. Let us look at creating a simple package now. In IntelliJ, we'll create a class to understand the behavior of basic operators in Java. So let's get started with this hands-on. So in the previous exercises, hands-on exercises, we had basically created a package called com-olc jfsd jess. So in IDE, we can create this package as well. All we have to do is go to the src folder here and you can do a right click. And then you can go and then say new package. So when you create a new package, you will be prompted to enter the name. So we can enter the name, say com.olc.jfsd.jess. This is what the package that we have created earlier as well. So we can create a package like this. And then inside this package, you could also say, I want to create a new Java class. You could also create a class right away, giving the package name as well. That is also an option available. So we just did in two separate steps just to ensure that you understand this IDE. Okay, so now let us go ahead and create a simple class, operators demo. All right. Okay, so this is a class. All other elements like interface, record, etc. we will talk about it in the later courses. So for now, let us create this one. Now we need an enter point, which is a main method. So let us create a simple main method. IntelliJ IDE also has a very simple shortcut to create a main method, PSVM. So it is public static void main method, and the moment you say tab, it automatically creates this entire method signature. So you see this, instead of you typing everything, it's a very simple mechanism. So now let us go ahead and create a sample code for demonstrating some arithmetic operators. Okay, so now let us discuss about this. So what are the arithmetic operators? I have created three variables and I have said a is equal to 10 plus 1. So right away I have assigned, and then b is equal to a minus 3 and c is 45 mod of 10. It's a pretty straightforward math here. So no rocket science. So let us print this out. So even for printing, there is a shortcut here. So instead of saying system.out.println, you could also say SOUT and then hit tab. It automatically creates a simple statement for us. So this is again useful for the developer to make sure that it is faster for the developer. All right, so now let us print A and then B and then C. Okay, I'm printing all the three variables. Let us understand the output. Okay, so in order to run this, all we have to do is right click and then select run operators demo.main. In the previous hands-on, we saw main as a class that was created and main.main method was getting executed. Here operators demo is the name of the class, so it has taken that and then dot main. So if you click this, you should see the output. So the code gets compiled and generates the output. So let's wait for this to be completed. It should be done within few seconds. Okay, I think it is passing and building. There you go. So we see this 10 plus 1. This is the first output which we have got. This is the addition, and then this is subtraction, and then finally mod of 40 and 10 is nothing but the remainder, which is 5. Okay, so this completes the arithmetic operators. So now let us understand how the relational operators basically work. So we can basically use this snippet here. So I have a relational operators sample. So I have defined p as 4, it's an integer, then integer q is equal to 1. Then let us see what is the output r. So r. Okay, so now once this is done, all you have to do is just, you could also run this using the same command, or you see that on the top you should see this run button. So you could basically use this as well. This is the run button, or shift F10 is another option available. So shift F10 can also be used here just to run this particular program. So now you see this as false, which is nothing but the output of p less than q. So p is always less than q. So you could see that p is greater than, so definitely it is false. Okay, so now if q is say 6, let us see what would be the output. So again, you want to run this, you have multiple options. You could do Control Shift F10, or you could directly run this particular main method by clicking on this option. So now let us see what would be the output. So the output is true here. So which means it is less than. So p is less than q. Okay, so same way we can also compare less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, all those things, which is pretty straightforward. Okay, so now let us go to some logical operators. So these are some of the operators which are also useful to do some binary based arithmetic or binary expressions. So let us do print B3 and B4. Okay, so now maybe for sake of simplicity, I'm making it more easier, we could also comment. All right, so let us comment this out and print only these 3 things. So I'm running this now. Shift F10 is another shortcut. So I always use the shortcuts very much. So it's more easier and friendlier for a developer. So you should learn this, which will be much more faster. So now you see the output. We have B, which is true, B1, and B2 is false. True and false is basically true. So true and true. So 0, 1 and 0. And similarly we have and B1 or B2, and then B1 and B2. So here you see this is 1 and 0. That is how it is basically represented, and you will get the output. And similarly when you do an AND, it would basically result in false, because 1 and 0 in binary is 0. Okay, so maybe if you just make this as true, for example, let us try and run this program. So you should see both as true. See here? So it's a very simple example of learning the logical operators. So now we'll look at the assignment operators in Java. So we have learned about assignment as well. So okay, let's understand the assignment operators. So what are the different assignment operators we have discussed already, right? So the basic assignment is equal to, then plus equal to, star equal to, minus equal to. So this is also an assignment operator. So now I see here, int j is equal to 0, and now j star plus is equal to 10 is equal, this results in 10 because j is equal to j plus 10. That is what is the output that we can look at here. So let us print j here. So you could just assume, so initially j will be 10, and we could see here j star equal to 10, so it should basically print the output as 15, right? So 0 plus 10 and then 10 star 5. There you go. All right. So this is the thing, and then let us try to understand the increment and the decrement operators. So this is the last one in this demo. So let us go ahead and initialize the variable I is equal to 0 and I plus plus. So pretty straightforward. So I, and then okay, I, and then what we can do next is, you could also do sys out with I minus minus directly. That is also possible. Say sys out I or I minus minus. If I do, what happens? Let's observe. Okay. So what do you expect? Oh, I think it's not able to find the variable I. So there is a, see here, you could also see that there is an error. So it shows that there is a problem. I should have initialized this one with int I is equal to 0. So my bad. Okay. So let's go ahead now. There you go. So initially it was 0, and then we incremented by 1, so it became 1, and then I did I minus minus, so it became 0, and that was printed, and later minus minus I have done, but it's not printed because it just took the expression, printed it out, and after that it has applied inside the statement. So this is the reason where you will see that it is not incremented. So but if you do this prefix, let us see this minus minus I, what would be the output? So when you do this minus minus I, you would see the output is minus 1. So how is it? You got a hint? In this case, what happens? Minus minus comes first, so it gets applied and it decrements the value of I and then prints it into your console. So this is the reason where you would see that it has become minus 1. Okay, let me repeat it. Okay, so when we did I minus minus, it prints I, the current value of I is printed, and then it will decrement and hold the value of I. Whereas when we do minus minus I, what happens? It will first decrement and then print. So that is the reason we see this behavior. So we use these behaviors, these concepts, this logic depending on our requirement. So wherever we require this kind of logic, we can basically use, which we will get through when we go ahead with the future chapters. All right, so this completes the basic operators demo, no big deal. But now let us go ahead and do this exercise. So I have the Java file. I will be giving you the Java file in the resources. Just take a look at it and then complete this exercise. So complete this hands-on, and then you can continue with the next topic, which is about other operators and operator precedence.